Okay, guys, I'm going to be going over the patch 11.14 preview. Now, I do patch notes that are actually the patch notes, so I'm not going to be going over these in, let's call them definitive detail, okay? But I'm going to be going over a little one. That's just 5 a.m. and I decided to give you guys this video, so there we go. The Legends of Runeterra patch is coming later today, so it's going to do that. But, figured I'd go over these for you guys. So what's going on in patch 11.14? Now I want to tell you guys that these changes are prone to change. They aren't actually 100% going to be going into the patch. They could change, be removed, be totally different, So don't take these as definitive, okay? That's why in my patch notes video, those are definitive. In these ones, these are speculative, okay? There's a big difference. Make sure to like and subscribe as well. So going through the list. Up first, we have Dead Man's Plate. Now, Dead Man's Plate doesn't seem to want tanks to have much health. I'm not sure why, they just don't. So when they decided to buff it, they decided to give it some armor back. It still has the giant movement speed nerf on it from when they did the movement speed update, but now it'll have 10 more armor. I'm not sure this makes it better. I mean, obviously it makes it better, but does it make it buildable? Probably. I mean, 10 armor is 10 armor. It's still 200 H, or say 200 gold of stats, though. We'll see. Macaulay is getting some nerfs here. These deal particularly with animation canceling and things like that. She can only Q during her E. So one thing she would do is E away in Q or Q while Eing back in. And now she actually has to play out those animations more fully. And in my opinion, that's a good thing. When champions have too many animation cancels and they just sort of like fart their entire kit's damage together, like Riven, it can become impossible to counterplay. Those are nerfing her R damage, both the minimum and the maximum, not by any small amount, especially in the early game. Her R is losing 15 on the minimum and it's losing 45 on the maximum. So that's 60 damage combined, up to, I should say, because the maximum, the weight. I don't know what I'm talking about. I think that's actually just only on the second one. Yeah, that's only the second one. Yeah, okay, so it's 15 to, what is that? 45. Yeah, okay, so not as big as I just said. Actually, a little bit smaller than that. That's why this is not a definitive video, because if this was a patch video, I'd go back and have to edit that out, wouldn't I? But here, what you guys are seeing is me not going back and editing it out, because you will have to deal with that. Okay. So Karma is losing some AD. I'm assuming that's because lane Karma and bot Karma was auto-attacking people a little bit too much, bullying the game a little bit too much at the higher ranks, and they're just trying to deal with that. Fair enough. Malzahar's losing some HP, losing some AP ratio. I'm not really sure why Malzahar was overpowered, probably some low rank thing, so I don't know. Anyway, there we go. Nocturne passive is 50% effective on minions. Now, I'm not sure. Is that the damage? Is that the healing? Do I mean it does less damage to minions, less healing? Both? One? Is it only healing, only damage? I don't know. If it was only healing, they would just say 50% healing on minions, right? But they say 50% effective. I mean, that's a weird thing to say, though. If something does reduce damage to minions, I don't think Aatrox's Q says, like, 45% less effective. I think it says less damage. That's just weird wording. So I have Kitty on my lap and she's just sitting here being cute as heck. Nocturne is losing some HP and some movement speed. Now, he had above average movement speed and above average level 1 health. Those are both being taken down to more the average areas. I'm not really sure why he had above average, but there you go. Okay. Sure. One of those changes where it's like, sure. His win rate's been bizarrely high, so they're toning it down a bit. Xin Zhao, who is probably way more overpowered, probably way more overpowered than those nerfs give you the impression. So I don't think it's really gonna balance him. As long as it's gonna tone him down a little bit, but I don't think it'll balance him, right? He's losing some W cooldown at the higher ranks, so he can't W as much. Ziggs is losing some mana. What are you gonna do? I think they just wanted to nerf him. Garen is getting a minor revert on both the nerfs he got earlier. So his passive damage is back, and his E cooldown is mostly back. It was 24 to 12, now it's 24 to 14. His win rate isn't super mega low, so I think what they were doing is they were trying to mostly revert him while leaving in one of the nerfs I actually like, which is the max rank of his E. There was a video on Reddit. He was, and by he I mean Darius, if he fully stacked this passive, and he fully stacked Conqueror on someone else, and he had Ignite, and he had Bone Plating, Gwen would still auto-attack him to death. Do you see Gwen on this list being nerfed? No. So it's a bit interesting that they're not nerfing Gwen. At the very least, if Darius gets literally somehow an impossible scenario, he won't still lose to Gwen level 1. He'll still lose if he starts attacking her instead of someone else on her team. But, you know, at least it won't be able to show how absolutely pathetic Darius is compared to Gwen. Yeah, I'm 99% positive he'll still lose the auto attack all in with Gwen, which is stupid. Oh well. Garen is getting his movement speed increased. Instead of 30%, it'll be 35%. They actually clarified this over here. It'll be 35 to 45. Oh, they actually clarified Deadman's is only going to 45 armor. Ooh. Well, that's not good. Ugh, if this was a patch note video, yeah, that. Oh well. Since it's not, you guys just have to deal with it, don't you? Yeah, that's actually a really big buff to Garen, isn't it? 35 to 45 instead of 30%. That means a lot. The Dead Man's plate only going to 45. That's okay. Yeah, I don't really think that's going to change anything then. 50 would probably change things, but 45, no, not really. The Garen buff, yeah, he's going to be a little bit of a speedy boy at max rank Q. A little bit of a speedy boy. Graves is getting his AD increased. Now, for those of you who have been paying attention, I think this is maybe the 7th to 9th time they've touched Graves level 1 damage. I think they should leave it at 66 and buff something else. I don't know, because holy crap. Go amuse yourself. Go look at his patch note history. I guarantee you will very quickly notice it just goes up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And it's done that for 5 years. It's starting to get stupid. Although his movement speed is going up, this actually makes her above average movement speed, so she'll have 5 more than the average bruiser / melee character. That's okay. I mean, she can chase people down, right? I don't know if that's like a huge deal, but whatever. Ivern is gaining 20 on his shield strength. I'm not gonna check because I'm lazy right now. You can probably tell, but I'm pretty sure it's a revert of a nerf he got earlier, right? Is it? Anyway, Ivern's max rank shield strength is going up. Ta-da! Rexella is getting some of her Q damage back. So she's going on the unburrowed Q. She's getting 1 to 5 damage, and then she's getting 20 damage on the max rank burrowed snipe shot Q. I think a snipe shot Q revert. I think that's a revert, right? I'm pretty sure she used to have that, but I don't know. I think Rexella got hit by the Prowler's Claw nerf. I don't like Rexella, so I don't like her being buffed. I don't really care about her balance. I just don't like her being buffed. I'll be honest about that. I don't like that champion. Die, Rexella. Seraphine's getting buffed her Q damage. It's going up 5 flat, and then the AP ratio is going up 5 flat. I mean, yeah, sure, why not? Taric, now, so a lot of people don't know Taric is super gated by mana, right? So they are reducing the mana cost on his E and reducing the mana cost on his Q. That will be a big buff. That means when Taric is standing next to you, double autoing Q, double auto Q, that means that he will have less mana issues. It also buffs his E mana a little bit. I mean, obviously going down 20 means he can E more aggressively in the laning phase without chunking his mana. They also have some changes here. So this is for Dr. Mundo. His level 1 attack speed is going up, but his passive health regen is going down. It'll still be 2% at level 18, but level 1, it'll be 1% health regen, which is sad. I mean, that's only double Wukong's passive, which is like, okay. And then his passive cooldown is going up to 60. Still 60 to 15, but it's going up to 60. That's a big nerf. I did say he was probably going to get nerfed, which is why he wouldn't be viable. But his Q damage against monsters is going up at rank 1. His health refund on Q against monsters is going up to 100%. And his E damage to monsters is going up. So basically his top lane is getting a pretty decent nerf other than his all-in by having more attack speed. Oh, sorry. And his damage to the monsters is going up, and his healing against monsters via his Q is going up. So buff to jungle Dr. Mundo and a nerf to top lane Dr. Mundo. Then they got some changes coming in for Tahm Kench. These ones are a bit confusing. So his passive is gaining some flat damage, scaling per level. That means he's going to scale better and do more damage, which is good, especially in the early game. His Q now does acquired taste damage, which is good, because it was weird playing him again and having his Q be such a low damage ability in the late game. His Q heal, now this one's the interesting one. They're nerfing the missing percent HP pretty hard, but then giving it a flat heal amount. That's weak. I don't know what's going on with that change. 6% missing HP. Do they understand how insignificantly tiny that is? And then we've got his W cooldown. So here's something interesting. His W is refunding 30% of its base cooldown, not its cooldown after ability haste. I did notice, didn't I mention that like if you hit your W, you get the second one back bizarrely fast? That's because it was reducing the cooldown on the base cooldown. So it reduced it by, I don't know, let's say 4, right? It would reduce the cooldown by 4, even though you've pushed the cooldown of the ability down to like 10 or even 8 late game, right? And so you could just chain W's off so fast. I did notice that. So this is actually a pretty significant nerf because you won't be able to chain W. They are giving the refund up to 40% from 30%. So they're kind of like compensating that bug fix, but that's still a big nerf. Then his R shield for allies and his R slow when he eats allies. That's his ultimate. When he eats allies, it'll be buffed. He won't be slowed as much, and he'll shield them for more at the early ranks. Not at rank 5 though, or rank 3 at level 16. He won't shield for more. Not really a big buff. I mean, I don't know. Using your entire ultimate to eat an ally feels really bad. Really bad. Then they got some big Lalia changes, but I'm not going to go over those right now because I don't want to, because that's a lot of changes. So those are the changes. What do I overall think of them? Dead Man's Plate isn't going to do much. Darius, big buff. Garen, big buff. Graves, big buff. Ilawi, shockingly, big buff. That one's actually big. Going from slower than your average champion to faster than your average champion, that will definitely impact some things. What are the other big ones? The Tarek ones probably will be big. The other ones aren't so big. The Dr. Mundo one, yeah, I mean, we knew that was going to happen. I told you guys, his win rate at the lower ranks in top lane was too good. So that pretty much could chunks him out of being viable in the top lane. The Tahm Kench changes. He does more damage, but he'll heal less, which I guess is okay. I don't know. I don't know. It's weird because it's dumb. I don't think Tahm Kench needed to have compensation nerfs at all for his kit. As for Akali, that's a pretty decent nerf. Not absolutely massive, but pretty decent nerf, especially because that's up to 45 damage in the early game on her ultimate, which maybe in combination with her Q no longer being castable during her E, maybe that takes her down a good chunk. The Karma nerf definitely will impact her top lane ability. Malzahar nerf is, 510 HP is kind of low. You're starting to get that champion at pretty low HP. The Nocturne passive is 50% effective against minions. I want to know, is that damage or is that healing? Do they just not know how to word things properly? Or like, as for Shaco, big nerf. Zintao, not really that big a nerf. Ziggs, not really that big a nerf. So that's about it. Once again, these changes aren't finalized and they might or might not go somewhere. I don't know. It's like, I don't know. A lot of times we see changes get reverted or changed, or you know, a new change show up. So once again, wait for a patch note video to see the final changes, but these are their previews. So thank you, everybody. As for my end of video, yeah, that was a good segue. Nailed it. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate you all for watching, and I appreciate you all for being here. Thank you to my Patreon supporters. Those people make these sorts of videos more possible by, once again, let me explain here. They give me a steady income, so if things get demonetized or things like that, then I can still look at the steady income and be like, yeah, this is worth it still. It can be a bit disheartening when you get videos demonetized and things like that. So thank you all to my Patreon supporters. I appreciate you all. You're all wonderful people. Thank you, everybody. And everybody have a great day. Have a great rest of your day. And for those of you who've made it this far, who probably not going to be many of you, but the Legends of Runeterra patch is coming out, and I'll be streaming that on my Variety channel in whenever it comes out. I don't know when it comes out, but thank you, everybody.